a right hand by Roach. Another right.
Man,
I don't know why the result like this, but in my opinion, I will focus and I will try to do that.
It's unfortunate that Gervonta Davis had to wait until he was on the verge of his first career loss before feeling the pressure from Saudi Arabia. After a rough performance that ended in a majority draw against Lamont Roach, which snapped his 30-fight winning streak, Davis has finally agreed to a rematch in Saudi Arabia.
There's a lot going on, but again, it was myself, but gotta go to the gym and, get back to the drawing board and, train a little harder. Definitely.
It was reported that Saudi boxing mogul Turki Alalshikh reached out to both Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, along with their respective teams, before Davis made his retirement announcement. After initially making some bold demands of the Saudis, Davis has since agreed to the possibility of a rematch. When Saudi boxing comes calling, who wouldn't be tempted to continue fighting, even with retirement in mind?
Lead, landing it by 3. That's good. Solid shot there, Davis.
Maybe change the course of your plans for your future?
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now.
That's the situation with Gervonta Davis right now. Despite announcing his retirement in 2025, Davis could change his mind if the chance for even bigger paydays in Saudi Arabia comes up. This announcement was shared on Turki Alalshikh's X account, where he had previously criticized Davis's event after the fight. Alalshikh expressed that if you're charging fans $80 for a pay-per-view, the event should offer a great card and high-quality production in return.
In Riyadh, in May,
high-quality production in return.
The big fight.
Boom. This statement came before Turki Alalshikh's response, and despite the back and forth between him and Gervonta Davis, things seem to have settled for now. However, the situation will continue to unfold in the days ahead. Gervonta Davis is currently one of boxing's biggest stars, but unlike many other top fighters, he doesn't have a friendly relationship with the Riyadh season or Turki Alalshikh. Alalshikh has hosted several major events recently, and just this past weekend, his event featuring Beterbiev Davis Dibala was one of the best in recent memory. While most fighters posed for photos with Alalshikh before the event, Davis didn't. He has now made a bold statement, claiming that fighters are selling their souls.
Davis. Oh, there's a right hook to the body by Davis, ripping that right hand, and then...
Don't miss with the line.
Davis shared his thoughts with the media, expressing concerns about the situation. They keep saying things are messed up over there. It's not just one fight, it's multiple fights. And you saw the guy looking at the scorecards? That was scary. The way he was talking... Yeah, that's my guy. We want to get Tank over here and fight, he said. Every time I speak up, it feels like people think I'm hating because I'm going against the grain. Yeah, people are selling themselves. That picture with everyone posing with Turki Alalshikh, it looked like some devilish stuff, didn't it? That's just facts. It looked like they sold their souls.
Roach rips a left hook to the body. Good stuff here in round 7.
What's name, but they've been saying like they've been getting messed up over there, bro. Like everything is different. Like they be getting sick. They're not only one fighter. Like it's been numerous fighters that been getting sick over there. So I don't know, bro. And you seen how the guy was...
Gervonta Tank Davis now holds a record of 31 wins, 1 loss, and 28 knockouts after his recent victory over Lamont Roach at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, United States. Meanwhile, Turki Alalshikh has shown interest in partnering with Davis and matching him up against Shakur Stevenson. However, Davis remains skeptical about working with Saudi promoters. Alalshikh, who serves as the chairman of the Saudi Entertainment Authority, responded to Tank's recent comments about boxers selling their souls to Saudi promoters. He expressed understanding for Davis's viewpoint, explaining that if Tank sees fighters like Terence Crawford making more money in 2 fights than Tank has earned in his entire career, it's a natural reaction. Alalshikh has been vocal about his desire to work with Tank, recognizing the huge star power Davis brings, and he's eager to bring him to Saudi Arabia for a potential fight.
David, he said to me, send to me 2 Ferrari to play in Saudi Arabia. I said to him, we will send to you 2 gloves if you want to play in Saudi Arabia. That's it.
Recently, Alalshikh expressed his interest in seeing Gervonta Tank Davis face off against Shakur Stevenson, another fighter who has aligned himself with Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, GEA, for 2025. Davis had earlier jokingly said that he would agree to fight in Saudi Arabia if he were given 2 Ferraris. However, Alalshikh wasn't impressed with that request, making it clear that he wasn't in the business of bribing fighters. With Tank hinting at retirement in 2025, it's becoming clear that if he's going to fight in Saudi Arabia, now is the time to sign a deal and potentially secure a few major matchups before he hangs up his gloves. Alalshikh, who heads the General Entertainment Authority in Saudi Arabia, has previously mentioned in an interview that he hopes to bring Davis, the powerful puncher from Baltimore, to Saudi Arabia for a fight sometime in 2024.
Davis lands a left.
How nasty was the speed of that counter shot?
One thing we haven't seen yet is some of the big Americans, Gervonta Davis, Shakur Stevenson.
I want him, and I send message now from you to Heyman. Let's do job.
Alalshikh had big plans to bring the exciting fight between Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis to Saudi Arabia, hoping to showcase some incredible boxing skills for the fans. He said, "I want to see you in my country, and I'll send a message to you now. I will try to make it happen in 2024, and of course, we want Davis in our country as well." However, after Davis's knockout victory over Frank Martin in the 8th round at the MGM Grand, the situation took an unexpected turn. Instead of simply agreeing to the offer, Davis responded with a demand for 2 Ferraris if he were to agree to fight in Saudi Arabia.
By 1, and it could very well be the other way on the official scorecard.
Brother, but Haney, I want to see Haney in my country. And I send message from you now to him. I will try to do it in 24.
When Gervonta Davis caught wind of Alalshikh's comment, he wasn't pleased. He took to his social media account and shared his thoughts, saying that if they really wanted him to fight in the Middle East, they'd have to send him something big like 2 Ferraris. Davis wrote, "They made me mad. If they want me, they've got to send something to my front door, like 2 Ferraris or something."
Never know, but here we go. 2+ minutes left in the fight.
Alalshikh didn't take too kindly to Gervonta Davis's comments. In response, during a recent interview on the MMA Hour, the Saudi Arabian official made it clear that there would be no more special offers for Davis. Alalshikh, known for his sharp responses, stated that he had no intention of begging the biggest American boxing star to come to Saudi Arabia. His Excellency then responded with a witty remark saying that if Davis was truly serious about facing Devin Haney and proving a point, he would be happy to send him 2 gloves. It was a straightforward and no-nonsense reply that put the matter to rest.
David, he said to me, send to me 2 Ferrari to play in Saudi Arabia. I said to him, we will send to you 2 gloves if you want to play in Saudi Arabia. That's it.
In the media, Gervonta Tank Davis shared a story about a conversation he had with a Saudi Arabian sheikh. Davis mentioned that the sheikh had jokingly said, "I'll send you 2 gloves if you want to play in Saudi Arabia," in response to Davis asking for 2 Ferraris. Davis explained why he made that request, saying, "I said that because the sheikh was already talking like he was supporting Devin Haney, saying, 'Devin's my guy.' All right, fine, if you want me to fight over there, send me something first." During a recent interview on the Cigar Talk podcast, Davis further explained his perspective, saying, "Fighters go over there because they can't sell here. I can sell here, so I don't have to go over there. What they're making there, I'm already making here." He made these statements calmly, sticking to his ground. In January, the Ring magazine held its awards ceremony in London, England. The event was a grand affair, attended by some of the biggest names in boxing. The gala not only honored the best fighters of the year, but also featured impressive production and entertainment. Supported by the Riyadh season, the event brought together top fighters, trainers, promoters, and other key figures in the boxing world. The evening was a big moment for the sport, providing a memorable experience for everyone involved.
Punch, but still, Roach leading with that.
He took a knee.
He took a knee.
PED.
Alexander Usyk was named Best Boxer of the Year after an incredible 2024, where he defeated Tyson Fury twice. With those victories, Usyk solidified his position as the top heavyweight of this era and the best pound-for-pound fighter today. In the women's division, the award went to undisputed flyweight champion Gabriela Fundora, who made history as the youngest woman to achieve this milestone. The fight of the year was the thrilling match between Raymond Ford and OTC Katov on March 2nd for the WBA featherweight title. After several dramatic rounds, Ford emerged victorious by technical knockout, ending the fight in impressive fashion.
Roach eating some big shots and coming right back. A minute and a half left in, and one has been in.
I'm not looking at Lamont the way that everybody else look at Lamont. Like I know Lamont is a really good fighter. I'm not. This ain't no Frank Martin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
It's a real good fight.
The key for Lamont Roach is to stay calm, stay sharp, and show Gervonta Davis that he's not intimidated. If Roach can do that, he has a real shot at breaking down the walls that Davis typically builds around his opponents. Lately, Davis has been stirring up confusion with his unpredictable moves. For months, the Baltimore native has made some eyebrow-raising comments about his career, leaving his fans uncertain about what's going on. It all started on Christmas Eve, when Davis made a shocking claim that had everyone questioning what was happening. Out of nowhere, he announced that his highly anticipated fight with Roach, which fans had been eagerly waiting for, was canceled. There was no explanation, no follow-up statement, just a social media post that left the boxing world puzzled.
Eventful night. Vision champion. Simultaneous one, although.
Talk to me about the mental preparation going to this fight with Lamont. Fans, they kind of sleeping on Lamont, but you know Lamont's fighting style. Y'all fought.
Yeah, people don't know him, but Lamont is a good fighter. Like he ain't no slouch. Like I fought him in the amateurs. Like
naturally, fans quickly jumped to conclusions, speculating that it might be another one of Gervonta "Tank" Davis's infamous meltdowns. While Davis's unpredictability in his statements isn't new, this situation felt different. The timing seemed off, and with no support from his team or anyone else, it gave the impression that Davis might be throwing a wrench into his own plans. But just when it looked like the fight could fall apart, Lamont Roach Jr. and his father Lamont Sr. stepped in to clear things up. They both issued statements reassuring fans that the fight was still on track for the scheduled date. The situation could have easily turned into chaos, but both fighters were able to keep the focus on their upcoming showdown. Despite the brief confusion, the momentum didn't slow down, and now both Roach and Davis are fully committed to their fight on March 1st, 2025 at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn.
The jab and continuing to pound to that body with the left hand, into the body again with the left hand.
There's a rematch clause, people, so get ready for 2 fights. But, yes, and after I beat him the second time, I probably would ask the WBA to let me go up to 140 and fight Riyadh.
Lamont Roach Jr. was just as confused as everyone else when rumors started circulating about the fight being canceled. While fans on social media were panicking, Roach didn't get caught up in the drama. During a recent Q&A session on his YouTube channel, he addressed the situation with his usual calm approach. A fan directly asked him why people were saying the fight was canceled or that he had pulled out. Roach smiled and explained his side. Gervonta Davis is like a wild card, Roach said. You never know what he's going to do next. The 29-year-old from Washington admitted that Davis's unpredictability is something he's had to learn to handle over the years. Roach wasn't bothered by the rumors or the confusion. Instead, he's focused on what he can control, staying calm and keeping his attention on his own preparations.
That time, and now, flashing some of his speed.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go. Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds. Then he's going to download the data. Then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8. Then he going to do the backflip. Then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plants White, and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference.
Lamont Roach Jr. has been through enough in his own career to know that nothing about Gervonta "Tank" Davis will throw him off track. Roach understands Tank well by now and knows that Tank is his own person. His decisions and actions may not always make sense to outsiders, whether it's an emotional tweet or a mysterious post. Davis often keeps people guessing about what he'll do next. But Roach isn't bothered by the mental games Tank plays with the boxing world. For Roach, it's business as usual. He's focused on preparing for his own fight, and nothing is going to distract him from that goal. Roach knows that the mental side of boxing is just as important as the physical preparation. He's staying mentally sharp for what could be the biggest challenge of his career. I don't let that stuff affect me, Roach said. It's clear that he's not going to get caught up in the drama or rumors. Instead, he's putting all his energy into getting ready for the fight of his life. Roach knows that defeating Tank Davis would change everything for him. His career, his life, and his legacy. But for now, he's staying focused on the prize and letting all the noise from the outside roll off his back.
Final 60 seconds as we are...
No one's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do together with you and your team and obviously your son to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're going to execute it and we're going to get the
Move that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
As the countdown to their big fight in Brooklyn continues, it's clear that Lamont Roach Jr. is fully focused and ready. His training camp is already in full swing, and he's preparing for Gervonta Tank Davis in the most professional way possible. Meanwhile, Tank looks sharp and ready to go, with his weight already close to the fighting limit. Other fighters, like Keyshawn Davis, often appear much heavier during training camp and need to shed pounds to make weight, but Tank stays lean and prepared throughout the entire process. Keyshawn, for example, typically looks more like a welterweight before cutting down to 135 pounds. Tank, however, is a natural lightweight and doesn't rely on drastic weight cuts to gain an advantage. He's simply staying in shape without trying to manipulate the system by dropping weight at the last minute.
Words are being thrown at each other. Let's see if the punches start being thrown, and yes, they do.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's his name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? It gotta be. You gonna say it's cap?
Interestingly, Gervonta Davis's longtime trainer Calvin Ford hasn't been around much lately, leading to speculation that the two may have parted ways. Ford has been a steady presence in Tank's career for years, so his absence hasn't gone unnoticed by fans and insiders. Leonard Ellerby, who knows Davis well, shared his thoughts on the situation during an interview on The Laboratory with Plaz. Ellerby reflected on Tank's recent announcement that he plans to retire after just 3 more fights. He said he understands where Tank is coming from. I can understand where he's coming from, Ellerby explained. Things are different when you have kids. It completely changes your life.
Uncoiled that left hand.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you.
They gonna celebrate with me. Yeah,
don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know, son. His father was up here shaking on the what's his name? He was shaking on the
pops.
On my kids, he was.
Leonard Ellerby also highlighted how Gervonta Tank Davis views things differently now compared to 6 or 7 years ago. If Tank says he's retiring, then he's serious about it, even if some people don't believe him. Ellerby explained that no matter what Tank accomplishes, it's never enough for some people, and that can be frustrating. The constant pressure from fans, along with the never-ending demand for more fights, can really take a toll. Ellerby emphasized that there's more to life than just boxing. While you have to respect the fans who pay to see you fight, it's important to remember that you also have a life outside of the sport. Unfortunately, fans often only care about the next fight and don't consider the impact on a fighter's health in the long run.
Ooh, this is... Oof. And... Oh, Davis!
What?
Who said that? You said what? You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want it back? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much you want back? Just cut it out. Huh? 100? That's a bet.
The future might look promising for Gervonta Tank Davis, but it's also full of hungry competitors. Fighters like Andy Cruz, Edwin De Los Santos, and Keyshawn Davis are all in pursuit of him, and Tank likely feels the pressure. These aren't easy opponents, and Tank knows that. While he's confident in his ability to beat them, he also understands that those fights will be tough and demanding. At this point in his career, he might not want to put in the intense effort required for such high-stakes matchups. Mayweather Promotions CEO Leonard Ellerby also shared his thoughts on the harsh reality of boxing and how it impacts a fighter's long-term health.
Ooh, this is... Oof. And... Oh, Davis!
When the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumped. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit with.
For
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
So y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was quiet, if y'all was loud.
He got the whole hood over there. Like twisted up. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
Boxing is a tough and demanding sport. Many fighters from the past have been taken advantage of in different ways, facing serious health issues and long-term problems. It's easy to understand why some people believe that you come into the sport, make your mark, and then walk away. Everyone has their own views and different life goals. With Gervonta Tank Davis's retirement announcement hanging over everything, the big question is whether it will stick. There are hints that Davis may not be done for good. It's hard to overlook how popular Davis is and the amount of money he can attract. If the right offer comes along in the next 6 to 12 months, it wouldn't be surprising to see him make a return. A huge payday could easily pull him back into the ring, especially if the opponent is someone famous enough to grab headlines.
Got backed up with a counter right from Roach.
And
why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
Hey, what's your game plan for the fight?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off.
Premier Boxing Champions recently released a behind-the-scenes look at Gervonta "Tank" Davis's preparation for his fight titled Gloves Off. In the video, Davis opens up about one of his biggest fears: losing. He explains that his fear of embarrassment drives him to push harder in training and fight night. "I just don't want to look bad when it's time to fight," Davis says. "My biggest fear is being embarrassed, especially in front of all these people around the world. Then you end up becoming a meme. I don't have time for that. I'm not trying to go out there and get my butt kicked. I don't want to be embarrassed." This is a revealing moment from one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing. People often think that boxers are fearless, but for Davis, it's actually the fear of embarrassment that motivates him to reach greatness.
Been well-generated knockout artist, and wait for Davis to come to...
Before Hearn was finished with a stepladder, Gervonta "Tank" Davis managed to escape with a majority draw against Lamont Roach Jr. to keep his World Boxing Association lightweight title. Davis, who is considered one of the biggest stars in boxing alongside Canelo Alvarez, nearly lost the belt in a much tougher fight than most expected. He was unable to secure the win in a performance that left fans questioning whether he might be overrated. However, Davis remains undefeated, although his star power took a bit of a hit after what happened at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York this past Saturday night. Even some of the biggest names in boxing have had one or two fights that were much closer than anyone thought they'd be. In time, the disappointment from this fight will fade and people will start asking, what's next for one of boxing's biggest stars? That's it for now. For the latest updates on the world of boxing, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll be the first to know when we post new content. Until next time, take care.